Welcome to the September 3rd episode of Den Excelsior, the Mostly Marvel podcast, where we discuss the latest Marvel happenings across all media, as well as any other superpowered stories that grabbed our attention this week. My name is Dennis, and I swear we're going to have fun. I was just arguing a bunch about Shang-Chi a minute ago, but we promised not to spoil that movie for you today. At least in this main show, maybe in the after show, who knows? But yeah, with me as always, we've got a distinguished nerd panel to talk about all the latest. First up, we just got done agreeing on one movie that we all like, but it made him very happy. It's Frank.
Hey, one movie and only 3 million movies to go before we find some more common ground. So that's great.
There's plenty of movies. You just wanted to be combative on that subject.
All three of us, though?
I think so.
All right.
I think so.
I'll take your word for it.
I mean,
of us, though.
I think so. But we do have 4. But we'll bring our third in right now. He's not really our third. He's just he's equal.
He's our plus
equal.
one. He's our
equal. Yeah. I don't want to put him third on the list. That's not nice.
He's the child ticket if you and I go to the movies to see something.
You said it, not me. Okay, it's Ricky.
Yeah, we're a throuple now.
We're a throuple.
Oh man, this is a word. This is a word he just learned about 5 minutes ago, ladies and
gentlemen. Am I using it in the right context?
Yep.
I think, yeah, probably.
Okay, so.
Yeah, we're family, so it's a little illegal, but yes, it's fine.
States.
Cool. All right, we have a special guest today. He's I've known him for a really long time, and recently we've started hanging out virtually again, playing D&D this year. Ricky and I have been playing with him. He's our beloved DM. It is Brian.
What's up? Sorry to bust up your thruple. So
what does the 4 do now? Is that
thruple?
It's just an orgy.
Okay.
Oh man, he broke the record, Frank. He broke the record. I think Frank shocked the guests once by bringing up orgies. I think within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And you beat him easily by 7 minutes right there.
We are not getting paid for this episode, guys. So, please join our Patreon as soon as you can
for your hot throuple action.
It's no different from all of our other shows, guys. Cool. Well, welcome, Brian. I know, I try to pick different people every now and then to come on the show, and I, we've been hanging out for a while, and I'm like, this guy's pretty nerdy. I'm pretty sure he can talk Marvel for about an hour and a half. In fact, I know he can. So we just like getting new voices on here to talk all about that stuff. I know you've never met Frank, but I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna kill each other by the end of this one. No, maybe probably not.
No, it's so fun.
But Brian, I do want to ask you, since you're new to the show, I do have one intense question for you to answer that I didn't prompt you with, which is, what does Marvel mean to you?
Good question. I think for me, and I was I almost in the warm up was like, no DC. I've always been a Marvel guy. I think the very first comics I got back when I was single digit age were almost all Marvel, and I grew up mostly with the X-Men. I was really a big X-Men guy, especially the weirder ones. So I'm excited to see if those translate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And then one of the things is just growing up with that. It was one of those things where you're always told, oh, you'll grow out of this. And I think it's great that we live in a time where all of us that grew up with these nerdy things are now able to do them as adults in a way that people older than us weren't. So the fact that you can ask me what does Marvel mean to me, right, rather than that was a thing I did as a kid.
And you don't get the crap kicked
awesome.
out of you immediately after answering it.
I mean, it depends, but usually no, not at this age.
Yeah. Well,
You
I
just
mean, right
get
now, yeah,
flamed.
that's the wonder of it right now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. People just call you nerd in the YouTube comments.
yeah.
What are you
I'm
doing
not-
here?
I will say I'm not surprised about the X-Men poll. I feel like that's
Because I'm
a
rocking the
common-
Charles Xavier.
No, that's just that's a common theme, you know, for a lot of nerdy people that just like nerdy things. Like, I think X-Men is very high up there on the list of what people you know, relate to first and foremost, and that's their entry point. Was it was the comic before the cartoon, right?
Oh no, yeah. This is back with the Extinction Agenda. I've got the first like 30 odd issues of X Factor or X Force, when it was basically the reboot of the original X-Men. So yeah, definitely old, like the first appearance of the Marauders, all that stuff before the cartoon did it.
Nice.
Well, that's all X Factor. X Force was Tom Liefeld. I don't even know his name. Rob Liefeld.
Rob.
Rob Liefeld.
Yeah.
You were right though. X Factor is the reboot. That's when they had the original team and they had the stupid
The
outfits.
cool.
I mean,
those were terrible outfits,
cool-
but you
the
did get
cool
a
new
apocalypse
outfits.
very quick. So
Yeah, I like those outfits. I don't know, like I think I
The
like
black and yellow ones, or
you know what? No, the
No.
X Factor ones they all
No.
did different colored. But like, I think what I liked about the costumes is they didn't have underwear on top of their spandex.
no. Nope.
Yeah, I think
They were just
that's-
like
I think
free
that's-
balling it. You like that?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I appreciated that.
So,
Cool.
if you feel that X-Men is too mainstream a pick, I also realized that
I don't.
an
No, that's great.
unholy amount of West Coast Avengers,
Yeah.
ooh,
and
were
we're
just-
talking like when it was just a straight up comic book soap opera with Wonder Man and Scarlet Witch and Visions.
Yeah. And everybody's banging Hawkeye every time.
another famous
US
throuple.
agent.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another famous throuple.
Yeah.
No, I definitely don't think X-Men's too mainstream. I think it's just it's the answer I think I hear more often than others.
Where do the movies kind of sit with you?
The X-Men movies?
X-Men movies, yeah.
Okay.
So Dennis knows I think we went and saw the first one together, right?
I think so.
Theater.
It was
Which was
2000?
Was
That's
2000?
2000.
It's
Yeah.
like-
As a
2000.
double or as a
It's a
throuple?
giant group.
Oh, Grupple. As
Yeah. Orgy.
That's a good name for an app, Grupple.
Yeah. Oof. But I think at the time, right, you hadn't seen very many big budget superhero movies.
Mhm.
It was just awesome to see that. But they
Yeah.
definitely wore out their welcome as they progressed. And I think First Class was good, but immediately rolled over into sort of the more cliche stuff, and then it kind of went out with a whimper. Was the last one not Age of Apocalypse?
Phoenix, Dark
Dark
Phoenix. Yeah.
You know, I like things about First Class, but I think it was already going down a bad trajectory in certain ways in that one.
It was
you know,
fun.
like disregarding the entire point of the character Darwin was just really insulting to me. You know what I mean? Like that. Like
Yeah.
it's like they just like to throw characters in there that were from the comics, but didn't pay them any respect. You know
Those
what I mean?
movies
Like,
always felt
like-
like. Go ahead. Sorry.
oh, I was just saying, like Emma Frost. Like, how many different Emma Frosts did
Yeah.
we get in the universe, and none of them were good. Like they were
Like,
yeah.
I feel like that first movie came out, First Class came out, then Hunger Games came out and struck gold, and they're like, shit, we got Jennifer Lawrence locked down for 5 movies. We better put her front and center, and like it always gave me that vibe for the next whatever 3-4 movies after that. It's like
yeah.
always shoehorning Mystique into this narrative.
It's
Yeah.
pretty bad how much Mystique mattered to those movies in the later run. Yeah,
With no destiny to be seen too, which
I know, right?
There's so much
Yeah.
you could mine there, but
Like, how did they never give us all of the original members of the Brotherhood, anyways? Too how did we never get an Avalanche?
Well,
because
Bryan
everybody
Singer
sucks.
had some allegations and
Yeah,
Exactly. He's a sex pest, so he should be really good at making movies, as proven by other sex pests who make movies.
It's true. That's Frank's favorite new term of the year. Sex pest. That's the way we refer to certain people. Yes, it is. All right. Well, before we keep chatting, I think I got to get some formalities out of the way. We have a fun show, obviously planned, because we think this is fun, whether or not you do. And we're excited to talk about episode 4 of What If. But before we do that, we have some news and rumors to discuss. As a reminder, this is also a chance for you to pick our brains with any marvelous trivia or points of confusion that you may have. We'll be checking the comments throughout the show. Sea Cow Soda, thanks for clocking us in at 3 minutes is when the first orgy dropped. And for those of you that can't get enough of us, I think we mentioned it earlier, but you can visit patreon.com/denxmedia immediately after this broadcast ends for our live post show, The Soapbox, where we wind down and talk about stuff we didn't get to in like the first 1.5 hours. It gets weird, Brian. I didn't do a good job of prepping you for that, but like the Soapbox from like a couple weeks ago with Coker, that got intense. That was
full on therapy
That's also
session.
Coker though.
He did group therapy, man. It for like
Took us
3
to
hours
church.
or something like that. Yeah, it was pretty special.
Yeah, it was good. It was like the Breakfast Club condensed into one soapbox.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then last week's soapbox, that just sucked. I don't even remember it. No, I'm just kidding. That was
Clark.
That was Clark. We thanked him a bunch for filling in for you. By the way, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you couldn't make it last week. That was the one you were planned to be on, but I'm glad to hear that your family emergency was resolved.
And I think I got a better what if out of it too. So
I mean,
you did. You struck gold. Yeah.
It's you did. Yeah, that's true. But we will talk about that in a little bit. First, let's let Ricky get some news out of the way for us.
Let's do it. Alrighty.
Aren't these videos classy?
The way you said that first
Professional.
thing, like you're like, but first we got a message from Skillshare. Skillshare is an online repository for learning. Like I thought that's where that was going.
I don't know how many times I have to remind you guys, don't do free advertisement.
This is brought to you by Dollar Disney Club.
We just got to practice for when we make it big. You know, all our VPN ads we're going to be doing, HelloFresh, you name it. So let's see. This is
Bluetooth.
Final week.
Bluetooth.
Oh my god. No. So week of September 30th. Coming into September 3rd. The week of August 30th. That's where I was going with this.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Leading into the holiday weekend, no surprise, it's a pretty slow news week, but we got some nuggets. Let's kick it off with we got our kind of gameplay look at the not XCOM Marvel game.
This was only a week after they gave us the non-gameplay trailer. I was pretty impressed.
Yeah.
Which video is corrupted on the slide.
Oh no! Well, it looks really good. That's what I'll say.
There's a dude he's doing a thing and some cards. It's pretty sweet.
I could share it.
You can probably share it.
Why don't we go on to the next
real
one?
Embarrassing for him.
2 brothers in a van. Then
God.
giant meteor hits.
2 brothers. Get the next one up. Yeah.
Okay. Next bit of news: a Werewolf by Night Disney Plus special is kind of rumored to be in the works. I have no idea who that is.
Well, I just want to remind you, I gave you a rumor a few weeks ago.
We did talk about this.
That Kevin Smith was supposedly he wanted to use Werewolf by Night in one of the stories he was developing for Hulu, and the executive producer at the time of all the Marvel Hulu shows, Jeff Loeb, said you can't use Werewolf by Night. And he's like, why? And he's like, you can't use them because they might be developing something with him. So that's why I think people are extrapolating that Disney Plus is developing a Halloween special. That's all that's confirmed, and that they're seeking a Latino lead for that. And so the speculation is pointing basically towards Werewolf by Night probably because of those rumors that Kevin Smith started. They should probably never give that guy an official gig, because he just goes around spoiling crap before it's even like in paper. You know what I mean? Like
He's the Tom Holland of spoilers.
He's the Tom Holland of spoilers. Yeah.
So if the rumor is just that it's they're looking to cast somebody Latino and it's a Halloween special, that to me says Ghost Rider, right?
Could be. That's another way to go.
That'd be cool.
Who's the actor that played Ghost Rider on the show?
Gabriel Luna?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gabriel Luna.
Yeah.
I thought he was fine.
Dude,
he's a good Robert Reyes.
He was more than fine. He was the best thing that ever happened to S.H.I.E.L.D., and he was also the worst thing that ever happened to S.H.I.E.L.D.
Is he the best Ghost Rider on screen?
Yes.
Next to
Nick Cage wants to have some words with you.
Next to Nick Cage, he was the best Ghost Rider.
I would say easily the best Robbie Reyes on screen.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair.
He was.
I want to see Nick Cage as Robbie Reyes.
I don't think he's a low bar though. I thought he was super good in that show. Like
I liked him in Terminator.
He made me excited to watch that show every week. And then as soon as he was gone, I was like, Agent Coulson, call Ghost Rider. This will it'll solve everything right now. Like it just got really bad. Like where it's just like every problem you have on this show could be easily solved by just calling Ghost Rider. And so it just broke the formula.
In your guys's, if you're Feige mapping out all this stuff, right? Did all this have to come after a Blade?
What do you
or
mean?
no? Like, do you
or you use it to stoke interest in Blade?
I was gonna say, yeah.
You do the opposite. Like that's why you're the one that got excited at the 2 mentions in the MCU about vampires, right?
Yeah.
You want all of these things to happen first before Blade shows up. Like he's Mr. Clean, man.
It sets the scene, sets the world up.
You gotta establish a reason for a Blade, right? And so you set up all these supernatural things that are going on in the universe, and then he comes up to clean up the job. Yeah, or clean up the mess.
They could just piggyback on Matrix Reloaded, and then we can have him fight like all the Draculas that are inside the Merovingians.
Resurrection?
Merovingians' house. Yep.
No.
There's Draculas.
Not Resurrection. The last one.
Yeah, what was it? Not Revolutions, the other one. Reloaded. Matrix
Reloaded.
Yeah.
Reloaded.
I didn't know the second and third movie came out in the same year.
They were filmed back to back.
Yeah. That's kind of cool.
Nobody thinks about the Matrix besides me, I think.
I showed that movie to Ricky for the first time like 5 years ago.
Oh, no way.
Or like 4 or 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago, yeah.
It was when I was living at the other place.
You guys watched the Thropilogy?
No, I know. Like, once we watched the first one, I was like, "There, Ricky, you're good."
Oh, that's it. You didn't.
Good. Yeah.
I'm still pure. I haven't seen 2 and 3.
Yeah, he's pure.
There's Draculas in 2 and 3.
Surprisingly, I played the shit out of the Matrix game on Xbox.
The MMO or the
Enter the Enter the Matrix. The one you had like the slow mo button. This dumb shit.
Wait, which way? Enter the Matrix or Path of Neo? Were you Neo or were you
the one with Jada Pinkett in it, right?
Oh yeah,
the one with Jada Pinkett. Yes.
Okay.
Did that Jada Pinkett?
Yeah, and then like you have to make out with Monica Bellucci.
I was like 7, so
yeah,
right.
So this is soapbox material for sure.
We can move on.
Okay,
I could rein it in.
Moving on. Marvel is going to be incentivizing youths to get vaccinated by offering a special Avengers comic.
I think that's pretty cool. It's in New York City. Children 12 and older can now receive a limited edition issue of the Avengers comic book from Marvel Comics in return for getting a vaccine. Yeah.
We are
That's
resilient.
cool. They did it in collaboration with the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene and Somos Community
Mental hygiene?
Care. Yeah, I guess so.
Oh.
It's just a cool thing to do that they're trying to do before kids head back to school. I think that's pretty cool that they're taking a stance on that, and like actually saying,
Yeah.
let's not be stupid here. Like let's just do this, like you get free comics out of it. Come on, guys. Come on.
Oh, did you guys do anything for Free Comic Book Day? Speaking of free comics, did you guys go to a comic book store?
No,
Hell no.
Oh, okay.
They just mail my shit to me. Like after my box gets a certain size, they're all like, "Here, just have it."
Selena, I freaking love this question. Let's just assume it's Jansen, okay? Like it's just easier. No, I don't know if they get it after the first or second shot, but I'm gonna guess they get it after the first shot, and then
then you do the horse medicine afterwards.
Yeah, the dewormer, the horse dewormer.
Dave says this panel could use some mental hygiene. That's probably
my old
true.
roommate, Dave Kim.
No, it's a different guy.
Okay.
I would be astounded if it were, to be honest. That would be amazing.
Dennis and I know a lot of people in common from.
No, I was gonna say that would be like the freaking Skywalker saga. Like,
wait, Dave, did you live with Brian? Dave, when did that happen?
Answer.
I don't remember that.
No, he just logged on to watch you for 10 seconds.
There's a delay. He said, "Sup, Brian." Okay, so we're gonna hand over the show to Brian and Dave now.
Okay,
Brian and Dave show.
You guys
our thruple rose.
This is the double.
Hey, sorry for being drunk so much that summer. I guess, yeah.
He says no. He says no.
All right, so no.
He says no. He doesn't accept your apology. Is what he said.
All right. Well,
Speaking of something that grows, the backer count for Galactus grew over the past week as that funding for the HasLab project came to a close.
That went through the roof. I don't know if I love your segue. That was pretty.
It got us here.
It was kind of awful, but yeah, no, dude. Like on the last day was Monday to fund this thing, and I think 25% of the total funding for this thing occurred in the last 12 hours. Like that's just so many people showed up because of FOMO. They just didn't want to
It's a cool looking toy.
Opportunity. It is a cool toy, so like, and they added all kinds of bells and whistles. I don't know if you're familiar with the extra heralds that they added, Frank. They added Frankie Ray, they added Silver Surfer, and they added Morg.
Had a Doom head, right?
And then they also added a Dr. Doom head, because apparently that happened in the comics one time where Dr. Doom made a Galactus body. And so, yeah. But anyways, this thing, when this thing started, people were worried that it wasn't going to get funded, including myself, which is why I went to the trouble of tracking it for fun every day. And we were just blown away by how this went. And so just thought we'd share, just because I didn't really post anything this week.
No one at Hasbro got fired this weekend. So
yes, that is true. But a weird side note, they surprised dropped the Eternals toys this week on pre-order. Nobody said anything about when they're coming out, and then I just accidentally found out on Wednesday. And so all the Eternals guys that I know you're wanting,
you got your Gemma Chan.
Oh yeah, I did.
Are you gonna paint her blue?
I'm gonna make her hang out with my other Gemma Chan toy.
Whoa,
they have a Minerva toy. So I have her already.
Well, hopefully in a year and a half, when this comes to your place, you can unbox it live on the show that we'll still be doing. So,
oh man, with the new strain, will be around.
Yeah, it'll be on the Epsilon variant.
Zeta strain, yes.
The Zeta
the Catherine Zeta strain.
The Omega strain. I by the way, as a reminder, the Sentinels have shipped. So maybe next week I'll have them. Maybe the week after.
Sorry for your mailman that's going to have to carry that to your door.
It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. I did make space behind me, though. I got a cool little cityscape. So I'm going to have 3 giant Sentinels towering over me.
That's cool.
It's going to be cool. Yeah.
Wrapping back around to cool. You got that trailer loaded up?
Oh, Just to be clear, it's only part of the trailer. I didn't want to do the whole thing, but here you go. Oh man, yeah, there. We don't need audio, but look at this thing. It's basically like a card game action RPG strategy.
It's Clash of Clans or Clash Royale.
I mean, I don't think just because it has cards, it has to be Clash Royale.
Cards, it's a strategy.
I mean, if that's the only reference you have, sure, I guess.
I think it's more Slay the Spire, right? Those sort of like non-collectible card games.
Oops, I didn't mean to play that again. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of got the impression it was like Metal Gear Acid or something. Like I'm not sure that it's not a collectible.
Like you build your deck, go into the fight, and then use your. That's what I'm assuming, right?
Well, they came out and clarified that it isn't. There's no microtransactions. There's none of that
Oh
stuff.
no, I didn't mean microtransactions, but I meant like you collect cards throughout the gameplay. You know, like as you keep playing and stuff like that. So I guess it's how you define collectible. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
But I don't know. I thought it looked cool. Like it still had hints of XCOM to me, in the way you go around selecting your character on the map and stuff, and choosing what attack. It just so happens that in this game you choose your attack by playing cards. So did
Ultimate Alliance hit for you or no? I mean, they're not the same, but they're not too dissimilar. Ultimate Alliance 3.
Did it hit what?
Did you enjoy that game? The third one.
I played the crap out of it. I don't know that I enjoyed it. But
I hate playing Ultimate Alliance 3.
I mean, I hate playing some games. Frank knows that I do that. It's just he does it too. He can't help it.
How's Baldur's Gate going for you?
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate. Dark Alliance, but
Oh, that.
Yeah.
That's more the camaraderie in that than
I don't hate that game. There's actually some surprisingly cool stuff there. That like it's very satisfying, like Frank said, to play with friends. Like, you know, like we definitely have chats and we're playing, but like the levels in that game are pretty cool looking, and they do have puzzles that you have to solve, and they have a lot of like hidden things that you're trying to look for and stuff. So it checks a lot of boxes for me. So like I actually like that game better than Avengers, I think. I don't know.
And now Avengers, that's a hate game. That's a very fun adjacent game. Like it's not quite fun.
Sure.
Fun adjacent.
It's not quite at the fun level, but it's right next door to fun. Like you can hear fun having fun at their party, you know, past midnight.
You can see how it'd be a good game, but
yeah,
it is.
Does Midnight Suns look like something you'd want to play, Brian?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I like all the XCOM games. They're one of those series that I will boot back up and reinstall every so often. And just, I think, slapping a Marvel property on that. Both me and my kids are suckers for those things, as my phone games will attest. Anything that's Marvel skinned will play. So, and they'll like to watch playing it. Yeah.
They've been indoctrinated.
My son's favorite hero is Spider-Man.
That's the correct answer.
Which Spider-Man?
He likes both Miles and Peter. So
yeah, I accept all Spider-Man.
Although he did want to be people. He did want to be Black Panther for Halloween. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Did you warn him that would be misconstrued by certain neighbors? Possibly.
I mean, we do live in Central Orange County, so yeah.
He didn't want to be like Black Panther with like a straw hat and like a
like a funny side. One of my old coworkers at the zoo did the face painting, I was always like, "How do you handle like a Black Panther request?" And it's very interesting her response, like. You do like the half paint, but it got real awkward there for a second. She said at the zoo when they started getting these types of requests.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, I think was that all of the actual like news items that we had prepared?
We have one little bit. The DC Fandom 2021 lineup leaked out. Any gems on there that kind of struck your fancy?
There's a few. I'm interested in pretty much everything that they're doing. Last time it was like a 12-hour event, which I planned my entire day around.
It was 2 days, right?
Yeah, it was 2
2 days.
separate weekends. 2 separate weekends.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was 2 days,
Yeah.
but the second day was a repeat of the first day.
Yeah, it was all repeat stuff. Yeah.
But I had to plan my entire day around it. Like I wanted to play. I think it was, what was I playing at the time? Avengers. I was playing Avengers, and I set up another TV in front of my TV so that I could watch the DC fandom streaming while I was playing the Avengers.
I gotta say, last year, like, I mean, there was a lot of random, weird, like, virtual events that people tried out, but like that was actually one of my favorite ones of the whole year. Just because like it was actually entertaining content, like it was just something fun to sit around and watch all day. Like Lindsay and I like watched it most of the day, and they had just fascinating ideas for panels, right? Like that Batman voice actor one. Frank, do you remember that?
It was so good. Yeah, the one with Batman voice actors from around the world. Like that was great. Because
we always, we know Kevin Conroy, but like the way we love Kevin Conroy, other countries have their own version of him that they think is the best Batman. You know what I mean? So like the guy that's voiced the cartoon Batman in other countries is just a superhero to them. It's so cool.
Well, even like their movie stuff, they had very tight presentations. Like, here's the tease.
Yeah.
Here's a little talk.
That's where they released the Batman trailer, the first the Robert Pattinson Batman.
Oh, the pre-COVID trailer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Batmanson, whatever his name is.
Before the filming had to be postponed.
Yeah, postponed. But they had 20% of filming already in the can at that point, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty good. But they're taking it from 12 hours to being 4 hours now. So
I think that's a better call.
Way better call. That way I don't have to spend the entire day.
What are some of the highlights? Aquaman 2. Shazam 2.
They're promising another Batman trailer. Black Adam, the League of Super Pets, voiced by, what was it, The Rock, I think. The Rock is what is he? He's Crypto, and then I think
who's Gotham?
Not
you mean
Gotham,
Ace?
Ace,
Yeah.
the Bat House.
Ace. You're done.
Kevin Hart's Ace.
Kevin Hart's,
if I'm not
that's
mistaken.
funny.
And then they're doing the Flash, which
that tracks.
Flash, Harley Quinn, and then the CW garbage.
They also have those HBO shows or the HBO movies. I wonder if they'll do like any touch on the Blue Beetle stuff or the Batgirl stuff.
I didn't see the Blue Beetle listed. I'm really interested in him also.
Mm-hmm.
I know you like him because you were talking about the representation of having a Latino superhero.
Yeah, it's more Latinx heroes out there. Sasha Calle have a lot riding on you.
He's played by Zolo Maridueñas, right?
The guy from Cobra Kai.
Yeah, the guy from Cobra Kai.
Yes.
The guy from Cobra Kai that's not in He's All That. He's All That, the pinnacle of Netflix filming. That's number 2. Number 2 on the most watched right now in America.
Are you
He's
serious? Wow.
Yeah.
Oof. I had something else I was going to bring up besides the DC. Just while we're on the DC topic, I don't know how caught up you are on Titans, Frank, but I hate it so much this season. I hate it so much. It is so fun.
It was fun adjacent at first.
Yeah, it is so much blasphemy that like I want you to hate watch it too, so that you can talk to me about it.
Yeah, I missed all the fun of the first season where they're just like F Batman, and I'm all like, yeah, this show rules. I like that F Batman. But then like Batman like F's up really bad in the third season from what I hear. But I haven't watched it at all yet. Like,
oh man, you're killing me.
I'll get to it eventually. But like when you tell me that it's really horrible, like it doesn't make me want to rush out and watch it.
It's so bad. All right. There is one more news item before we move on to the other thing. Today is September 3rd, which means Shang-Chi is officially released. So everybody who hasn't had a chance to watch it, like I said at the beginning, we're not going to spoil it here. We may talk about it like more extensively in the soapbox because Brian and Frank apparently they have not seen it yet and they don't care about spoilers. But Ricky and I have seen it. Ricky loved it. He said it's like the best Marvel movie ever made. He's like he's not sure they'll ever make a movie better than it. And then I went and watched it, and I was like, no, I don't hate the movie. I just don't think that it deserves the amount of hype that it's getting for being a good Shang-Chi movie.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think it's a fun movie, and I think it's great to see more representation in the Marvel universe. I'm not going to knock any of those things. I just did not see the character that I thought I was going to see from the comics on screen. And I know Brian is, said, is that really true about anybody in the Marvel universe? But like, I could definitely argue that some of them have been closer than others.
Definitely, Tony Stark was really close.
See, Brian.
Yep. You're full on alcoholic Stark, or
in spirit, if not in the letter, because they don't have time to have him be an alcoholic.
I want to see Hank Pym go crazy.
No,
just slapping.
Yeah.
That was the best way you could say that.
Week.
But I think, but we did say that was something we got. We did get that. We did get it last week. That's pretty cool.
But so weird to say that you want
that.
We had also talked about that during Ant-Man, like when he bashes that dude's face on the desk, like in a fit of anger. Like we were like, ooh, we're getting little hints of his little mean streaks. So that was cool.
Yeah. But I say split the difference between Ricky and I, and it's a pretty decent movie. So go see it, support it when you can. But obviously, if safety and health is a concern, it will be on Disney Plus in like 45 days. So don't stress it. I can say this without spoiling anything, that it's not going to tie into anything important that happens in the next 45 days. So don't worry about like, if you don't see it today, I'm pretty certain, based on the post credits, nothing that's happening right now is going to matter to Shang-Chi.
Is this your favorite Marvel movie of this year?
No.
What's your favorite one of this year?
There's been two movies.
Spider-Man. So Spider-Man then?
No, there's only been two.
Spider-Man's not your favorite of this year?
It probably will be, but Frank and I we disagree a little bit on how much we like Black Widow, but I think we can agree that the first 14 minutes is so promising that like I was willing to give a lot of suspension of disbelief to the rest of that movie because of those first 14 minutes. And when I watched Shang-Chi today, I was like, has 14 minutes come by yet? Because like I'm still waiting for the hook. I'm waiting for the hook. Like I'm still there's things
like
things
they
didn't
like my parents, the first 14 years of my life were so promising, and then
oh my god,
oh man,
so you took it to a better place. Why you got to talk about my dating life like that?
Save all this for the soapbox.
Where's Coker?
You made it weird. But no, I did. It was nice to go see. Like the only reason I did it is because like I found a theater that had like almost no tickets sold at all. By the time I got to the theater, I literally counted there was 12 other human beings in that entire theater, and people were wearing masks, and I felt pretty comfortable with that.
Technically a super spreader event, so
I don't think 12 people in a giant room like that is considered a super spreader event, but sure.
I think if you get drunk enough that COVID can't enter your bloodstream, because you'll have too much alcohol in there.
And I think that's you're thinking of detergent is what you're.
No. Sorry, horse dewormer.
Oh yeah,
horse detergent.
Horse detergent. Okay, now that we've given
now
that we've given out our medical advice, why don't we end the news with the comic section? Frank, was there anything that stood out there?
Yeah, Demon Days Cursed Web follows Mariko Yoshida from the Wolverine comics. This is kind of like a spiritual follow-up to Demon Days X-Men, which came out I think earlier this year. And the artwork's so well received. It has like a Japanese influence, and it's really good. I really recommend it. The story's good too.
Cool. I saw She-Hulk by Dan Slott, Volume 1 and 2 were on there on the collections.
Yep.
Highly recommend. Dan Slott, She-Hulk is some funny stuff, man. I'm really hoping the TV show channels some of that stuff. It's kind of like it's kind of like What If meets Ally McBeal is really
it is. That's very apt.
Yeah.
I mean, is that the next trailer hunt? Like, I know we were egging for a Spider-Man trailer for like the longest time. Like, we're due for like a Hawkeye trailer now, and possibly a Marvel or Miss Marvel trailer.
I don't know. I feel like you're the one that answers that question because we're not actively hunting for trailers.
we don't even. I don't even want to see a trailer. I didn't want a trailer of Spider-Man.
Neither did I.
But Ricky forced their hand by distributing the leaked trailer.
He had blackmail. He had nudes of Kevin Feige, and that's how we got a trailer. He at Comic-Con he sneaks into the bathroom. It's bad. It's bad. Yeah. I mean,
you and Bryan Singer, huh?
Yeah. It's quite
we share a Dropbox, so
yeah. Well, you him in the FBI then.
Yeah. Well.
I don't know how to segue off of that one. Do you guys want? Yeah. Speaking of FBI and Sex Pest, you guys want to talk about the thing that we came here to talk about?
Yeah. What if?
If you want.
All right. Hit the. Right before Ricky played that, Brian said, "Wait." So I want to know what did Brian have to say?
The announcement from Marvel about the new titles that are coming up and what they might say about the MCU that was announced this week.
Oh, you mean like that? I don't know if I ever trust what they're doing in the comics to reflect MCU, but I guess I probably should.
It's like a new She-Hulk run, right? That was like the big one.
Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, and then there's a Fantastic Four Reckoning War. So, in terms of things that might make it somewhere into the movies, I know they've been trying to make the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur happen for a while.
She has a show coming.
They're setting up a new event called the Dark Ages, right? That's what's going on, like with all these different.
There's the event. Timeless looks like is what it's called.
Oh, that's right, Timeless. And there's a big giant Kang comic in the middle of it, right?
Yeah.
There's a big story following Kang in the middle. Yeah. No, I did see those. I think we generally stay away from reporting on like how those are going to relate because we're just never current. So we're not experts on that. We all have Marvel Unlimited, which means that we're at least four months behind. Some of us are like 13 years behind, but like we're catching up. We'll get there.
The only things I keep up on are like certain ones, like Shang-Chi. I'm caught up on, and Spider-Man. I'm mostly caught up on. I'm more caught up than
like what does that mean?
Marvel Unlimited. From what's current, like I'm at what's current in Shang-Chi.
Okay.
And then Spider-Man, I'm maybe a couple months behind now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in between you guys on Unlimited.
Is done. I mean, that was. Yeah, we could. Take this to the end one. I guess I don't want to get into spoilers. So
yeah.
Were you talking about the Shang-Chi movie?
Yeah.
Oh no, I was talking about.
No. Well, in the comic, whether it reflects like they've been trying to.
So that's something that they do is the comics will copycat. They'll cheat off of the movies and like restructure their comics based on the movie. So it's kind of
brand
weird,
synergy.
Yeah.
I guess.
All right, let's do a do-over. Let's try this again. I just wanted a clean slate there for that sweet spotlight. So yeah, I think we waited long enough. It's time to put a spotlight on episode 4 of What If. Since it's fresh on everyone's mind, I guess quick recap. This episode was called What If Doctor Strange Lost His Heart Instead of His Hands? That is a mouthful, man. I don't really love.
That implies that he actually lost his hands.
Well, he did. That's what drove him to.
He broke his hands.
No, he lost all functional use of them. He could no longer do his profession at all
There's all
because
those
his hands
scenes
were
of him
so
doing this.
yeah, his hands were so badly damaged. Yeah, are you actually debating whether or not Doctor Strange lost the use of his hands? Because that's kind of the whole premise of Doctor Strange. So
This is some ableist stuff you're talking about, Ricky.
yeah.
It's also been the
Yeah.
source of a lot of rumors for the last week or so.
Yeah, with the non-shaky hands of
and the no scars in the Spider-Man trailer. Maybe
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
different
Yeah,
Strange.
There we go.
Yeah.
See,
Take us
there
home,
we go.
Dennis.
Yeah. So I guess the quick recap on this one is for anybody who it needs a refresher. This episode decided to kind of do like a really interesting what if, and they took the premise of the first Doctor Strange movie and they kind of changed things around in that universe so that Christine Palmer, the character played by Rachel McAdams, is actually still in a full-on relationship with Doctor Strange. And so in that fateful night where he's driving to that special party and gets in the car accident, in this universe, she's in the car with him, and no matter like what he does, she dies like in that car accident, and he uses the time stone to try and reset that moment over and over and over again, and no matter what he does to alter time, she always dies because it's a fixed point in his it's an absolute point in time is what they called it. And so it gets dark, right, guys? Like it gets really dark because he decides that there has to be a way to break an absolute point in time.
This is the darkest I think Marvel's gone with the MCU. It's
pretty
showing
freaking
death
dark
over and over again.
It's a tragic story. Like,
well, in fairness, they show Doctor Strange die a bunch of times at the end of his movie, like in awesome ways,
right? That was
but
played for
you
laughs.
see him descend into madness, kind of, and then this one.
Well, you guys weren't
True.
laughing during this? I was laughing a lot.
Yes, every time Rachel McAdams died, I was
like,
on the floor.
I'm all like, and then Samuel Jackson came into the diner and shot her for no reason.
Whoa!
It looked like Samuel Jackson's character from Coming to America.
That
Oh my
one was
God.
pretty fucking funny though. Like,
Yeah, see,
like Strange. You couldn't do like any magic move to stop that bullet, dude. Come
You
on.
didn't like the
Yeah.
one where he was drinking at the bar and her apartment exploded.
Fire.
Well, no, the point, Ricky, is like he doesn't have magic at that point. He can't do magic at that point.
He's
because
just a surgeon.
Yeah, he's just
Use
a
the
surgeon.
stone.
He does over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole point is he's trying to use the stone to create a normal timeline
Mm-hmm.
where his life gets to just play out okay, and that doesn't get to happen. But continue what you're saying, Brian, like about the darkness and
I mean, that's pretty. I guess WandaVision sort of tiptoed to some of this, but this was just straight up. We're going to kill this character again and again, and then it's not going to get the desired outcome, and then the main character is going to go crazy, and eat the souls of a bunch of demons, and then end the universe. Happy what if?
He ate souls for like 100 years, man.
There should be like thousands. It wasn't
Yeah.
thousands, right?
So, okay, hundreds.
No, you saw
yeah,
that
hundreds.
library
Yeah.
fall into ruins. Well,
Like,
Yeah, that's true.
What if
Yes.
they should make a what if of this what if episode? Like, what if Doctor Strange had eaten the little buggy guy instead of jacking his cape, and then he gets the power to resurrect? Like that buggy guy had the power
Right.
this entire time.
cockroach power.
He wouldn't have got his cape.
That's
That
true.
was
You could have taken the
That
cape
was-
and then eaten him.
that was intense. The entire premise was, I'm gonna go eat all the things ever that exist in other universes to give me enough power to finally eat Shuma Gorath. Can we agree now that was Shuma Gorath? Like that?
Yeah, I don't know. We still haven't seen his body yet.
Obang called it a mystic being, and it was so powerful that he couldn't eat it on the first try.
Maybe it's like a centaur, but with a it's like Ursula from the Little Mermaid, and it has like a top half of a human or something.
If it's
Maybe the bottom half of a human.
No, my toes.
if it's Shumagorath, okay. is it weird that Captain Carter could defeat it and not Doctor Strange?
You're assuming that
because
she defeated it.
Captain Carter kicked the crap out of it because she's super awesome.
Or I guess, but we're still assuming that she beat it. Like according to Ricky, she can't even throw a car or whatever. But
Nice.
don't be throwing cars, honey. But no, I don't know if she beat it or not. But like the tentacle monster from the last week's or this week's episode, the tentacles were still alive when they got cut off. The tentacles in Captain Carter were kind of dead when they got cut off.
Yeah,
so
implying she killed them.
I don't know if it's the same. I don't know if it's the same tentacle monster. It could be something from Bible Black or.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Nice. Way to go to Bible Black. You know what's really cool is the writer of the writer of this show, AC Bradley, was actually initially scared of the story due to its heavy themes of flaws and tragedy, but she ultimately found it a very rewarding experience because they got to play around with why does loss hurt so much, and because it all comes down to love. Only the things we love can hurt us, and that's I think what was really cool about this what if is like, we know that the Doctor Strange that we met in the movie is a very superficial human being. He's a huge ego. He's an asshole, right? Like when you meet him, and it takes him losing everything before he can even have humility to go down the road of becoming Sorcerer Supreme. But when we say everything, we mean all of his earthly possessions, right? Like that's really what he lost, because he didn't lose Christine. She's still in his life. She's still like this weird back burner like character that maybe will maybe one day he can be with her again. But like in this what if version, she's just gone. He can never be with her again. And like that drove him down a way darker path. And it also, I like that they did the due diligence of showing that because she's not there in the ER, she can't save the Ancient One later, right? So the Ancient One dies, and then for some reason everything still plays out the same pretty much. But yeah.
Except for no Mordo. Mordo would have been the changing factor.
Yeah,
that's true. It's true.
He just needed to find the universe where he fucked up his hands.
That was hurting my brain, by the way, that they never once let his hands break in any of the alternate versions that he tried. I was like, you're telling me there's not one where Christine dies and his hands get hurt? Like you can't have timeline. Both? Yeah, like the worst timeline. Yeah. That was hurting my brain a little bit, but
he got out unscathed in every scenario. Not
I know,
hands,
right?
Like, not even his face. He had a black eye, right? And that was it.
Yeah, like that was.
Well, that's why you wear a seatbelt.
That was so cruel. Yeah, whoever devised that universe is just an ass. So I'm guessing Mephisto.
Yeah, probably Mephisto.
Mephisto confirmed.
Yeah, confirmed. Yes, yeah, that's what I was thinking too when he was eating people, like, and he turns to the devil, and I'm like, oh, please, please. I would accept that. It's not my ideal Mephisto, but I would accept if he was all like, yo, I'm Mephisto now, sign this contract and I'll give you some stuff.
I agree with you. I don't know that I need Mephisto to be the actual devil, like I need a demonic being that calls himself Mephisto that goes around, pretending to be Doctor Strange in a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. Just winking at us.
Yeah.
Winking at us all the time.
I know that there are a lot of people out there that want to believe that this episode did a good job of verifying that is actual Doctor Strange in that Spider-Man trailer, because it just showed you how he's just one bad day away from just completely wrecking the universe.
He's still a man. He's still a human. He gets sad.
I think that was the greatest oversimplification that you could ever use to justify your argument that is him.
He had a mind.
He ends the universe.
He's a man. He gets sad. I think Hitler was sad sometimes too. Is it just because he's a man?
Way to go! Take the most extreme.
No, I know. I'm just saying everybody gets sad. Like it's not. Like,
I think the MCU up to this point built him up to be a very powerful being, and to see that he's still subject to the flaws of man is kind of neat. It makes that Spider-Man trailer, I think, more palatable now than what it was 2 weeks or a week ago. 2 weeks ago.
You didn't find it
because it's
palatable?
obviously Evil Strange in the Spider-Man trailer, right?
No, but like
Yeah.
I'm willing to accept that he's the dude can
Wait.
fuck up sometimes, for sure.
But why would we already knew he could do that? Like that's already been established many times in the first movie.
What we never saw him do was wink. This is all new. It's like a brand new Strange.
In fact, I would argue that he was so certain of his ability to F up all the time that he had to write a cheat code to defeat Dormammu because he knew he was going to fail a lot. So no one's saying he's perfect. That no one's ever saying that. It's just like I would like to believe that the Doctor Strange of our universe has learned humility and learned responsibility after the events of Endgame, or Infinity War and Endgame, both, to the point where he's not going to just tinker with, forces unknown the way he does in that trailer. So like Ian was nice enough to join us just now and say Sweater Strange is clearly evil. There's something off about that guy. Like, why is he wearing, by the way, the cloak of levitation in the house when every time we've seen him before, he can summon that thing?
How are you going to clean the ceiling?
Duh. Yeah.
Magic.
Duh, Dennis.
Magic.
Yeah, magic. Yeah.
Yeah,
but normally we normally don't see him wear the cloak around the house just hanging out, like unless he summons it for something, like it's usually off playing Nintendo or something over in the corner.
Nintendo. It's playing Fortnite with Wong.
Oh, that's true.
Is that a game? I don't even know how that goes.
I think you can. No.
Shang-Chi's in Fortnite now.
Is he really?
He uses a gun. It's pretty cool.
Everything's in Fortnite.
Cool.
For what it's worth, I don't know that it matters much, but Scott Derrickson, the director of the movie of the first Doctor Strange that dipped out of the second one and they replaced him with Sam Raimi. Scott Derrickson was shown an early cut of this episode and he called it terrific. So he's probably like, yeah, that's the kind of crap I wanted to do and you guys didn't let me do it.
It was cool. Like I'm with kind of Brian. Like I'm shocked in how dark they took this, because it's not like there's like a glimmer of hope at the end of this episode.
It totally is.
Yeah, there's a glimmer of hope in that he's left alive and to come back in Spider-Man No Way Home.
To wink, to give his horrendous winks.
Yes, to wink.
When you see him in the trailer appearing later with Commander Carter or Captain Carter.
Whoa, Commander Carter?
Yeah, sorry, Captain.
She's in charge of Cobra now.
Yeah.
I believe we have seen him in a trailer later for sure.
In the Hyundai commercial.
Also in the Hyundai commercial?
Yes, in the Hyundai commercial as well.
But in addition to that, the evil Doctor Strange, there's been theories that like he formed like a power stone because of how it looked at the end, like just before he was talking to Uatu. So I thought that was
that's interesting.
Yeah, cool little theory there, I think.
Yeah.
Frank touches on. We got to see Uatu interact in the show for the first time.
But that's what Dennis has been saying pretty much since the beginning. Like Uatu's been more and more showing up. In this one, he was all like, "You've been watched, bitch," and then like, he looked at him. He's all like, "Help me!" Nope, you've been watched. And then like he just watches them.
I like that he actually went to the trouble of at the beginning when he was narrating. He's like, so previously we've shown you things like this, but what if we show you something like that? Like
about to get weird.
He's very overt. Like he's not subtle at all with like how he's leading you down a path, of story. Like,
it was cool that Strange was able to sense him.
Yeah, I like that.
I love that. I love that a lot.
When he starts hearing him subtly, he's all like, "Hey, who's narrating over there? Who is that?"
Yeah.
Man, imagine the thruples Uatu has seen.
He's all, "What? Who said that?" You've been watched, bitch.
If this was Pee Wee's Playhouse, all the furniture would be screaming right now.
That's the takeaway. By the way, on IMDb, I don't know if this is true or not, but IMDb has a fun trivia fact that says Shumagorath makes its second appearance after the Captain Carter What If episode. That's just some random guy that put that on
Yeah.
IMDb, though.
All
that
right,
doesn't mean
confirmed. Nope,
Just
Yeah,
like
random guy.
Wikipedia.
that was enough. That was enough.
That's enough to sell me.
Yeah, another guy also wrote, this is the first time the Watcher has interacted with others in the series. That was probably Ricky that wrote that.
Yeah, that was
Did
me.
you just write that right now?
Yep.
Okay.
My only reference for Shumagorath is Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm not even lying. Like I just know he's a green blob.
That's
Yeah.
most people's. That's most people's.
Yeah, it's probably true.
So this is a fun one. I know I brought this up every week because I'm just spoiled, right? Like I'm spoiled by these Marvel movies. Like you know, even earlier when I was bad mouthing Shang-Chi, I don't mean that to say it's a bad movie at all. Like I just enjoy the Marvel movies so much that like it's, you know, I have a scale of like super awesome to that was okay. That was still, you know, that was watchable. And because I'm spoiled by them, right? And so like these What If episodes, my spoiled nature has surfaced like a little monster every time I hear a voice actor that's not the correct person, right? Like I'm like, oh, they were so close, they could have got him, you know, like why couldn't they get him? But man, this is the first episode. Not only did they get everyone to reprise their roles, like from the Doctor Strange movie, but did you guys catch Leslie Bibb?
Yeah, as the newscaster.
As the newscaster for a brief, not even like a full second of dialogue. She's like talked over, but she is. Did you recognize her, Ricky?
Nope.
The newscaster that mentions in that one horrible universe where Doctor Strange decides to not even pick up Christine for the drive. That way, he thinks he's gonna save her, and then I guess that building turned into like a Die Hard situation, and like everybody got blowed up or killed or something by terrorists. She is the news reporter in Iron Man 1 and 2
that he hooks up with. Yeah.
You telling me they could have got? They could have got Olivia Munn.
I am telling you that.
Oh man,
I am telling you that.
I didn't know that.
They chose to get Leslie Bibb, the one who is actually in 2 movies. Yeah,
they even got Jeffrey Wright to play Uatu, to reprise his role as Uatu in this episode.
As Commissioner Gordon from the upcoming Batman movie.
That was fantastic. How did they get him? How did they lure him back?
But I just thought that was, I don't know, that made this episode extra cool for me in that, like, you know, like we got everybody, and it just felt like no part was too small, right? Like, or maybe Leslie Bibb was required to read like 40 lines, and then they just cut it down to like half a line, just to, you know, like, I don't know. I just thought that was really cool. But yeah, Ricky, it could have been Olivia Munn because she also played a reporter in Iron Man.
It's the point.
Could have been.
Who is this guy?
Obang.
That's Obang.
Cagliostro?
Yep, and that's his other name. Yeah, so Obang is his in the comics. That's like his rumored to be his original name, or the name that he went by first before he changed it to Cagli Nostradamo.
Cagliostro.
Caligari, yeah.
He's the one that found the time stone.
No, he wrote like a book that the Ancient One has.
Yeah, the book in the movie that has the symbol that the guy steals the pages out of, that's his book.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wrote it was New York Times bestseller list for like 2 weeks.
Played by Ike Amati, by the way. You might know him from Knack 2.
Mac 2?
No, Knack 2.
Oh, Knack 2, the game? Nice.
Yes.
Does the actor show resemblance to his character in the show?
Fantastic.
Yeah, he does. He actually does look like him.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting.
Unless you're referring to Knack 2, in which case he does not look anything like Knack 2.
Greatest PlayStation hit, Knack 2.
Knack 2, baby.
I thought that would make Frank happy. That's why I read that little tidbit.
That would make me happy.
But yeah, no, I thought that was cool. Like, I think that's one of the first times we got like a new character, right? Introduced into the What If story, right? Like normally Normally they just remix everybody that we already know, but this time we got to meet more characters from the lore of Doctor Strange. So that was actually extra fun too. Yeah. I do have to say on the topic of getting everybody, like getting all the actors, which meant they got Benedict Cumberbatch, they got Rachel McAdams, they got Benedict Wong, and then they got Tilda Swinton. I thought that was a little awkward.
They're doubling down on that.
Because
you have to though at this point, right? Like,
no,
why do you have
don't.
to?
You
They've
don't
recast
have to.
other voices.
Yeah, they literally recast Black Widow last week, and a million other characters.
But her ancient one has a very specific look. That's Tilda Swinton.
How does that have anything to do with sound?
Like,
her look has a sound of Tilda Swinton.
Yeah.
You have to respect that.
What I'm saying
Black Widow looks a lot like Scarlett Johansson.
Here's my bigger point. Only 3 months ago, Kevin Feige was doing the press tour to promote Shang-Chi, and he openly apologized for the casting. Yeah, for the casting of the Ancient One, and is acknowledging that it was a bad decision, right? And he was doing that so that he could soften up everybody and say, but look, here's the steps we're taking with Shang-Chi. Here's what we're doing. We're doing this as a course correction, right? So super awkward that the same week that Shang-Chi releases in theaters, you bring back good old Tilda Swinton.
Good old Tilda.
Well,
to play the Ancient One.
I'll play devil's advocate that this was done. This show has probably been done for about a year.
So you're telling me that once it's done, they can't choose when these things come out?
They blew up the Death Star twice, and the second time had the Emperor. They win.
You're telling me they can't say, "Oh, wait a second, maybe we shouldn't air it that week." I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm sure Doctor Strange 2 has already been majority of it's been filmed already. Like, do you think she's in Doctor Strange 2 in some capacity?
No.
Probably not.
No, because he made that apology before Doctor Strange started filming.
Yeah, but like that was just an apology. He doesn't care. We know.
I agree. I totally agree. I'm just saying it reads really ugly when you see these pandering like apologies made from corporations.
I don't want to diminish like appropriation, but like I've seen more outrage over Awkwafina's role in Shang-Chi this week than I have over the Tilda Swinton situation. It's
not that the outrage is over Awkwafina's role in Shang-Chi.
I know, but
it's that Awkwafina has work. That's the outrage. It's not. Yeah. It's not that people are up in arms.
But like that, this issue is not even like on the zeitgeist of. In a business way to say it's not in the zeitgeist of the majority of the population to make a decision like that just to pull her out. Pull her out of the role entirely.
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Because they squashed it 3 months ago and said there. We wipe our hands of this, and now we can do whatever the hell we want, The
other thing is, it doesn't have to be the zeitgeist at all if they just didn't do it, right? No, we're guaranteed we're not talking about this at all if they just had somebody else voicing it.
Yeah. If they had somebody else voicing it, this, I think, would have been the one time I would have been like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like that, like I would have been, the same way, we rationalize Drax. We know that when they were filming, Drax was pretty pissed at Disney, right? So it makes sense that they probably didn't ask him because he was threatening to quit and everything like that, So like I would have been fine with it. Frank, would you have cared if it wasn't Tilda Swinton today? Or this week?
No, I guess not.
I don't think I would have cared either.
I wouldn't have minded if they changed up her character model a la the Matrix Revolutions.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a what if, what if the Ancient One was actually the correct race that they were supposed to portray? Yeah.
What if the Ancient One was actually a super old Asian man?
I think it's like if you're gonna make her look the same, her character, you just go for total spin at that point. But if you're gonna change the actual look of the character in this what if, then yeah, I would totally I see why you would want to recast the voice.
But I think the moment they say, "Hey, it's the Ancient One," oh, hey, what's up, Ancient One? I'll accept that it's the freaking Ancient One. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like we're dumb. We know when it's the Ancient One when they say, "Oh, Ancient One," you know. So,
hey, what's up, Ancient One? Oh, I guess that's the Ancient One. Sweet.
Yeah,
I know that.
yeah.
I know that guy. It's the Leonardo DiCaprio meme.
I'm quite surprised how on the Tilda Swinton bus you are here, Ricky. You were the one that was bringing this up 3 months ago, and so now you are like,
I was noting it.
He's a big fan of Tilda Swinton.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
here's
a what if for you. What if, since we can make the Ancient One anyone, we make it somebody like Finn Jones?
No.
No. Go the opposite direction.
No, Finn Jones is awful. See, Ian agrees with us. It wasn't a missed opportunity. I feel bad for saying for 3 weeks that, man, I can't wait to see the episode where they get everybody. And then we finally get the episode where they get everybody. I'm like, oh man, I kind of wish they didn't get everybody. Like that was
real monkey's paw.
Yeah,
that was awkward. It was awkward.
Yeah, way to waste that wish.
It was quite a monkey's paw for me. I be careful what you wish for. Oh no! What if we get Terrence Howard and Don Cheadle in the same episode?
You know, going back to Ike Amadi, he played. He was also in the Iron Man VR game. He was Nick Fury in that one. He was pretty good, Nick Fury.
Oh, that's cool. Awesome.
I think everyone in that is pretty good at doing impressions of their MCU counterparts.
Brian, what was something that stood out for you about this episode that you actually liked and didn't like? How about both?
Do I have to go? I think to the answers I already gave you on this, or can I just freestyle it?
You can freestyle. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. You just have to fill time for our sponsors, which are none.
This is brought to you by Blue Chew. Is what if getting you down? Well, Blue Chew can help. Or the last episode. That'll get you up.
I think I talked a little bit about some of the things that I didn't like. I think it was nice to have more character development for his girlfriend. But in terms of where they kind of missed or compressed the story, and I think Frank, you already mentioned no Mordo. That would have been great to have at least some nod to that. If you're going to nod to other sort of Doctor Strange deep cuts, that's a pretty central part that you've already set up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did like the sort of the characterization of Strange. It further establishes that he is sort of an arrogant D-bag, even when he cares deeply. And then when we were talking earlier, I think, Ricky, you mentioned that he basically did the cheat code on Dormammu, right?
Dennis, yeah.
Or Dennis did. And then
No, he did the cheat code on me. I'm Dormammu.
Dormammu.
The Dennis, I'm here to bargain.
But yeah, what were you saying?
But basically, he has sort of the same attitude when he power levels himself by just summoning demon after demon and eating it, right? That's a real gamer power move there.
Yeah, he's the fucking coach in Air Bud that there's no rule that says a dog can't play. Perfect. Like that's all Strange. That's his superpower. He's just finding out the loophole.
It's like straight up Ender's Game.
Oh my god! Can we just pause for a second? Ricky just described Doctor Strange as the coach from Air Bud.
What a cut.
That's amazing. I love that. That's pretty good. I've never watched an Air Bud, and I feel like
it's like 10
I feel
of them.
you there. I know. I'm sure there are. Doesn't mean I have to watch them. Somebody's getting arrested.
Who's getting murdered over there? Who does that? Like Doctor Strange is definitely a gamer because he plays like I would play the game. Like I try to play it as lazy as possible. If I see a big boss that I don't think I could take at my level and I don't want to wait other levels, I will try to run him off a cliff or like kind of like jank him through a wall or something like that.
Like he's legit save scumming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's more than that. He's not just that. He's also the guy that pauses the game, goes on to like Google and Googles for the best way through, right?
Flips through tips and tricks.
Yeah.
He's going to the library to figure out the cheats.
He legit tried the hardest one first. And he's like, whoops, that's too hard, you know? And then he's like, all right, let's start with the evil garden gnome. Yeah, let's go there. Evil garden gnome first.
That poor little
What did you think about that? What did you think about that Raven? It looked a lot like Raven from Teen Titans.
From DC. Yeah.
Like with the multiple eyes.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
definitely got that vibe. Yeah. Did anyone else go through and like pause at each monster to see what it was?
I was watching it today.
Were like any of them nameable or noticeable from you?
Well, I read that one was people are trying to draw conclusions that I read one with Shumagora. Did you write that, Ricky? It's like I don't know. Looks like the guy from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. No, another one was there was a red dragon that people were saying kind of was made to look like Smog. You know,
that's funny.
Which is a fun little, you know, because Benedict plays Smog in the Hobbit movies that I still have never seen.
That's cute.
I won't do it.
I saw something that at one point he looks like he absorbed Dormammu.
Yeah. His face turned into like that Baron Zemo purple.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Show us what that looks like.
Maybe it was Baron Zemo that he absorbed.
Show us what that looks like, Frank.
Baron Zemo. Oh yeah, where's that mask?
You have the mask. Oh yeah, you got it before you moved, didn't you?
I'll have to look for it.
And Brian, what was something you didn't like? Did you mention?
Like I said, I think they missed an opportunity not having Mordo in it.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did say that.
I did. In terms of, I mean, like I said, I had a lot more things I didn't like about the previous week's episode. I thought this was pretty solid, and I really like the down ending that they went with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, by the way, you also did mention that the Good Strange needed a bit more of development, and that's something we didn't mention. Is like what was weird about this one is there was another rule broken, right? In that the Ancient One, as a safeguard, when she realized where this evil strange the path that he was going down, she split their universe into two overlapping universes, so that a good Doctor Strange could still exist in the same universe somehow, but like shifted.
I took it as they're just pre-existing in that universe, but since the evil Strange was out isolated, they never really crossed paths. That's the way I took it.
It seemed like it was a branching timeline within the branching dimension.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I got.
I took it more as that.
Like one dimension, like right on top of the other one, and they don't see each other until it's time to see each other.
But Ricky also brings up a good point. Maybe they just didn't go to the same place. Like they didn't go to the corner liquor store together. Hey, I know you like do the Spider-Man meme.
So maybe Good Strange was the one dealing with
Caglioso wasn't casted by then, so it was.
Yeah, but maybe Good Strange is the one that's dealing with Mordo, and that's why we never see Mordo in the other story, because we're following the other one majority of the time, you know.
That's a good point.
So you know what, Ricky, I kind of do like that idea.
Do you think Evil Strange was doing the same thing that Mordo was doing, that we see him do at the end of Doctor Strange? He's like stuck in.
Maybe.
He's stuck in magic at that point, or is he stuck in souls?
Magic? We don't know what he's doing.
Yeah. I don't think they were clarified.
He's sucking something for sure.
Yeah.
That's all we know. That's all we know.
Behind the Circle K.
Who's the actor that he sucks from in that movie?
Whoa, everyone. Relax.
you know what I'm talking about? Oh my god.
I don't even know. This is brought to you by
MCU here, or?
I don't. Yeah, no. This is the alternate. This is not the Avengers. Is what we're talking about.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah,
I've seen so many things in that one. That was the first time I saw Ms. Marvel say, "Hey, Peter Parker, you got something for me?"
Oh my god!
And I was like, "Oh, what does he got for her?" And I'm like, "Oh, this isn't Endgame."
This is getting awkward.
I would like to remind you that the minor Frank. So,
how'd you guys like on the cloak on cloak battle, cloak fight?
I didn't really love that. What? I don't know. It just
I like
wanted to
the.
like it more.
You don't like
Yeah.
sentient garments fighting each other?
I wanted to. I wanted to.
I mean, as a whole, I liked Evil Strange look. It kind of gave like more of a Kirby-ish with his little crackles in his powers and the collar on the cloak, the symbol on his chest.
Well,
Benjamin Bratt, that's who he
is the
sucks
person
off.
Oh my
sucks off
god, he does
Benjamin
not.
Bratt behind the circle
Does not
K.
do
He
that.
sucks.
Um,
And he's
know
like,
what-
"You've
you
been
know-
Mordo, bitch."
You know what I did? What part of the fight I liked the most was the last moment where his name is actually Strange Supreme, Doctor Strange Supreme, where he uses the distraction spell, and like he's the shadow behind him, and then he just and Doctor Strange just looks up at the light, just like he's like a deer in headlights, and then he just gets snatched. That was, I don't know why that I want to do that in D&D. I want to do that so badly.
Snatch him up.
It just looks so good. Yeah, I don't know what it was that I loved about that. But yeah, that was a cool moment for me.
It was a cool element. You see his little eyes like within the shadow, and he looks like Dracula.
It almost looks like the Watcher for a second too.
It does, yeah, it does, and then you realize, oh god, that's not the Watcher. Yeah.
It looked like who was the Blackheart from? Speaking of Marvel vs. Capcom, how he would sink into the ground and then go around, and then
yeah, I think that's why I liked it, because it just reminded me of something I've seen before, but I couldn't place it. Yeah, so basically, this episode just stole a lot from Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah,
so
just totally jacked it.
By the way, this episode is brought to you by Marvel vs. Capcom.
Marvel vs. Capcom, I'm gonna take you for a ride. One thing that I didn't like was the way the Ancient One's mouth moved. Like that thing looked weird. It looked like Beaker from the Muppets. It was just like it was like super weird, and I'm all like, now I know what you guys are talking about, because you guys were talking about this. I think you specifically, Dennis.
I said in the first episode the mouths were a little weird, right?
Yeah, the
only one that was funky was Wong for me. Yeah. Wong looked a little weird.
Wong looked weird. Was he like Professor Honeydew? Whatever.
It's Bunsen, Professor Bunsen, right?
Oh, Bunsen. Yeah,
Honeydew.
Bunsen Honeydew.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is Honeydew. That's correct.
You're both right.
Oh,
do you guys think the fact that Supreme Strange, or is Strange Supreme or Supreme Strange?
Strange Supreme.
Supreme.
I know because the toy is called that.
He comes with tomatoes and sour cream.
El Grande Strange.
I will be doing that when I get the toy. I'll be like,
the Grande Strange Supreme.
Yeah,
I'll put sour cream and tomatoes on my toy.
Is he a better sorcerer because his hands work?
Yes, yeah. He learned it faster, at least.
Also, he's a better sorcerer because he ate like thousands of years worth of beings.
He ripped through the monster manual alphabetically.
I felt like, I actually, when I rewatched it today, I yelled at the Ancient One. I was like, screw you, Ancient One, for like coming here and saying, Doctor Strange, you're the only one powerful enough to beat this guy. He doesn't have a freaking chance, man. Like, I was just, you put one warding spell on him and you think that's going to do it? Like, this guy is you, but a billion times stronger. That was a not fair fight, man. I was pretty shocked at
So Strange Supreme is the best villain in the MCU now?
Currently.
Close to it, yeah.
I mean, he won. He did what he set out to do.
Well, kind of, yeah.
No, he did. 100%, but like she turned into Venom at the end, and
he turned
the whole city turned into everything turned into Web of Shadows.
God. Yeah. No, yeah, he's easily one of the most powerful beings that exists now in the multiverse, right? Like that we've seen for sure. I mean, he ate Shumagorath, so there you go.
Yep.
Man, imagine if Captain Carter would have eaten Shumagorath.
That's all she has to do. All you have to do is eat your enemies. That's what I've learned from this.
So she would have eaten Red Skull.
You got to eat Red Skull.
God,
eat everyone.
So I got to know, because I'm quite surprised at how tame this discussion has been. Was there something, Ricky, that you just were not willing to accept? Because usually there is, and I'm quite surprised that I haven't heard it yet.
No, I think we had touched on it, like the whole not finding the universe where he broke his hands. Is it just like the whole episode rides on that thing. So it's like you just kind of have to let it go at that point, you know?
Yeah, I felt like it's kind of a moot point though in both universes, though, right? Like, did it really matter that that like he couldn't use his hands by the end of Doctor Strange or any movie afterwards?
But
Right, like
it's implied that like if he doesn't break his hands, or if he breaks his hands, then there is a universe where he breaks his hand, becomes strange, and Christine leaves, or Christine lives.
no, she was right, but I'm saying like he like
She's not an
for what-
absolute. She's not an absolute point.
No, in the universe we follow, she's not an absolute
Mhm.
point. But that's the only real difference is Watcher just said, or not Watcher,
Watcher.
Agent One said, she's the absolute point in this universe. So like, it has to happen. You know what I mean? So
Right. So the
we're
what if
not
is
really
actually
told why.
what if Doctor Strange wasn't an a-hole to his ex-girlfriend? Right.
Yeah,
That's the inciting event.
Yeah, like I had to talk myself off the ledge on this one with you guys the other day because I was like, I feel like it's two things because it's that and the hands. But then at the end of the day, how much do the hands really matter to either Strange? Like, you know, like I know for the other Strange, they're the reason he goes on his quest. But like the end result is the same both ways, right? Is he becomes Sorcerer Supreme.
That was a little muddy too. Like what? How does her death send him on that path? You know?
Yeah. They definitely glossed over that to get you there. There was a lot of like jumping really quick. Like, you know, I thought it was cool that when they started down that time travel path to save your loved one, they immediately just went and said,
hit
you know
what?
You guys have seen this story a million times before, so we're gonna go really fast on this one. You know, like so like they were super efficient through this whole episode because like they're like, you've seen this, so fast. You've seen this, so fast. You've probably seen guys eat bad guys, but we'll show you a little bit more of that anyways, because like, you know, we want to make sure you get it.
But he won't eat bugs.
Get it. Yeah, no bugs. Yeah, that was
have protein in this universe.
That was so racist. Yeah,
that was pretty bugsis.
Like
speaking about the hands, though, that kind of reminds me of like when, you know, Daredevil exists. Like he's supposed to be blind, but he's basically not blind.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of the same deal, right? Like that's how you can look at them. Dave says, I don't think the Ancient One thought the good Strange could beat Evil Strange hand to hand. It's just that maybe Evil Strange might listen to himself. Maybe that's a good take. I like that take.
I was thinking maybe it's so that she can disappear and F off to another dimension while this one gets ruined. She's all like, I gotta go. You gotta stall him for like 10 minutes.
She could have helped in that fight, right? Oh no, she's dead.
I was thinking though, like I wish that Good Strange would have had the sense. I guess he didn't have the time, right? Because as soon as he got told, oh, by the way, there's two of you, like 5 seconds later, he's getting snatched up, right? Like after he got he all he got was a protection spell on him, and then he's gone. But it would have been nice if like maybe he had tried to even the playing field by going to other universes and recruiting other Doctor Stranges or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that, because that was
impinging on Spider-Man's territory.
Yeah, seriously. It was not a fair fight.
So in the comics, oh, go ahead, Brian.
I was going to say, so we keep calling him Evil Strange, but is he evil?
No, I don't know. That's why his name is Strange Supreme. That's the name they gave him.
Does he do anything evil?
No, you're correct. It's just he makes evil faces after he eats evil creatures.
All the monsters he ate were racist.
So the assumption is that he ate some evil beings, and because you are what you eat, you know.
Well, Burning Skeleton Man actually developed several foundations for orphans in his dimension. So,
well, I stand corrected. I'm glad that I am.
He's actually the hero of Canton. Where he comes from. So,
sorry, go for it, Ricky.
Mike's my last little question for you guys. This is a universe destroying event, right? That takes place on Earth or in some realm on Earth, right?
Sure.
In stories like these in the comics, does it ever happen where like some character across the galaxies like comes in and helps? Like, would you have accepted like if some rando character came in, since the universe is being destroyed or collapsing upon itself to come try to help and save the day?
Well, I think the problem is like when you reach Doctor Strange levels, like usually the things he's dealing with are so out of the like they're so out of like the ballpark of most other beings in the universe, right? That's why he is the Sorcerer Supreme, because he's protecting the universe from threats that no one else perceives necessarily, right? So that's kind of hard to say.
You do get a little bit with the Watcher, right? That's the level of being that can comprehend and perceive this thing, and the Watcher is like, yeah, I see what you're doing there, but hands off.
He was being a dick about it the entire time. He's all, look, I got to go to the can. I don't have time to save your ass.
This is a real hot X-Men throuple I got to check out.
If I don't get back there, Gene's going to do all the stuff with Logan.
And I'm here for the Cyclops stuff. So, yeah.
There's only two of you left. Not a throuple.
Not a throuple.
But what I do appreciate about that is we're clearly ramping up to, I would say, 1 or 2 episodes away from Uatu full on intervening with something, right? Like he can't help himself.
Defining characteristic.
It is. Thank you. I'm glad that we have another person on the show that understands that even though he says he never does that, that's exactly all he does.
I think that was one of the points of this episode, is that he can intervene. He was stating that he could,
but he's saying he must not.
He's all like, nah, you're kind of a
didn't he mention though? He said he couldn't do. I thought I took his like he was already past the point where saving this universe. Like there's nothing that he could have done anyways.
Nah, it's really just that he's not supposed to, man. He's kind of a jerk about it. Like
I think he was past the point of no return.
Well, yeah, it can be. It's sure. Like he's not a god for sure, but like he was set on watching that. He was set on watching those events play out from the beginning.
He's a dude that slows down by a car crash on the freeway.
Because Doctor Strange like fully noticed him earlier in the episode, right? It wasn't just at the end. He noticed him and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "All right. Just keep doing your thing.
Power leveling.
Yeah, keep power leveling. I'm pretty sure I know where this ends, but I just want to watch it anyways. But he could have.
He was like when Dennis and I watched Thanksgiving. Like we could have stopped that movie at any point.
It's true.
But we wanted to see how it played out.
Yeah.
Is that by the people who did Chopping Mall?
No. Chopping Mall's amazing though. I love that movie.
I haven't seen that one. Now I have to. But we will be reviewing Thanksgiving at some point in November for sure. That's mostly Marvel, right? It's
it's kind of Marvel.
Eventually, it's the Halloween special.
It's like a superhero story. But I think we got to wrap up this conversation for this show so that we can head over and screw off on the post show afterwards. So I do want to thank Brian for showing up and being nerdy with us. And you can let people know if there's somewhere you want them to find you, or let them know where you don't want them to find you.
No,
works too.
Don't find Brian.
Leave an address.
Cool.
And
just all my social media stuff is not going to be nerdy at all. It'll be a tremendous.
If you watch the soapbox, I'll give you his address.
Oh no! Wait,
wow.
I can plug if you are into tabletop gaming, dark science fiction, and conspiracy. I am the co-creator of a role-playing game called Eclipse Phase, which is a tabletop RPG. And you can find it for free all over the internet because we made it Creative Commons.
There you go.
That's awesome.
See, he had something to plug, and you thought you didn't have something to plug.
It's a 12-year-old game.
Yeah, there you go.
We're plugging Chopping Mall, which is a 30-year-old movie.
We plugged a lot of things today, guys. I'm just saying.
Brought to you by Blue Chew.
Start the hashtag. Bring Airbud to Disney Plus.
All right. I'm gonna get through this. I want to also thank our patrons for supporting our growth and our audience for tuning in. Thanks for showing up in the comments today. That was awesome, you guys. And Frank, what can everybody do when they're done watching this episode?
They can smash that like button and hit the subscribe. Smash it like the way Uatu smashed all of Supreme Doctor Strange's hopes and dreams.
Oh wait, we're blaming him for it now? Like we're blaming him?
Hey, we're blaming
could've
him.
stopped it.
He didn't have to be a dick. He could have just been like, "Hey, don't look at me." Like, shh, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, and then like did that whoop, 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 and just like taking off.
I
But
mean,
no, he had to be
Uatu
like,
let World War II happen, so
he's all like, "I kind of don't want to help you. You're a D. Later, you've been watched, bitch."
You.
That's
I feel like
line to go out on.
that should be your new sign off from now on.
that's his.
but-
That's his. I can't take his.
Okay, that's fair. All right, and then I guess it's time for us to head over to patreon.com/DenXmedia for the Soapbox After Show, where Frank will come up with even more ridiculous things to say. Thank you for watching Den Excelsior. See you next time, true believers. Enough said.
bye.